Welcome to 843 TV. We are excited to bring our show today to you from the Southern Carolina landing pad here in Beaufort. We've got quite an exciting show today. We're going to be talking with William.Fugate. He's the U.S. Development Manager for a neat company called SkyDrive. We'll be talking with our Mayor, Stephen Murray. We'll also be speaking with JOToole, the Executive Director. So stay right here. We'll be back with 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We are so excited to bring you a really neat topic today, and we're going to be talking about flying cars. Yes, you heard that right. Joining us now is William.Fugate. He's a U.S. Business Development Manager for SkyDrive.
Yes.
How exciting is this?
Yes, it's very exciting. I think, being part of a company that's kind of building the future, it's like always been a dream of mine. So I'm glad I get to be part of it.
Well, you got to be in the front page of our local paper this past weekend, so congratulations sharing about your business. We're going to take some time this morning for you to share about this interesting concept and how it's the history and how it's going. So tell us about the flying cars.
Well, we have we're looking in the future here, and when I say future, I'm talking the next 2 to 3 years. You're going to start to see more and more what we call eVTOL aircraft, which is electric vertical and takeoff landing aircraft. There's kind of a semi-hybrid of, like, say, a helicopter and a car. And you're going to start to see these from 2025. I think you're going to start to see these, making their entry into cities around the world and becoming a form of daily transportation for the global community.
Wow. And we were at one point, we thought electric cars was a kind of a crazy dream. And now here we are. So this is really neat.
Yes.
Share with us where you are with this. I know you're in sort of the trial stages of production.
Yes. We've been, as a Japanese developer, we've been focused on the domestic market for the last, I think we started in 2018. And yeah, we've been focused on the domestic market for the last few years, but I think we've gotten to the stage of development now where we're starting to look at the global community and seeing where we can add value. And I think we're putting a initial focus on the U.S. market.
So just really 4 years under development. So where is it currently? We talked about single passenger and the future of multiple passengers.
Yes. Well, I think if you look at, say in New York, if you look at the average occupancy rate for a New York taxi, you're looking at about 1.4 occupants on average. So I think the demand for our vehicle is a one pilot, one passenger vehicle. So it's obviously a lot smaller and it has a smaller footprint than some of our larger competitors who have multiple passengers on their aircraft. And so I think that, the small design is something that I think is going to be really interesting for the U.S. market.
So you mentioned pilot. So is this something that someone will be trained? It's not for the average consumer that would.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So, ultimately the goal is to make our aircraft, and I think for most developers it's the same goal, is to make these aircraft autonomous. However, there's going to be, with public acceptance and the technology in time to take to perfect our technology, I think we're going to look at probably about a 10-year window where we're going to have the aircraft be piloted, and then eventually that's going to transition into autonomous flights.
Wow, talk about way to beat traffic, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is the concept as far as where would they start, where would they land? Like, how would that actually work?
Yeah, I think you're going to see in the beginning phases, you're going to see as kind of an extension of current air travel. So you'll probably see the eVTOL aircraft develop from the airports, start from the airports,
Okay.
and then eventually integrate into city grids.
Wow, this is really neat. So anywhere in the world you could go. Why Beaufort, South Carolina?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. I actually see it as why not?
Why not? Right.
Because we've been here, just for a few weeks, in our first scouting mission, and then here again. We've been here I think I've been here for 2 weeks now, and it's just I think it's a unified vision between the local and state, agencies that are really putting a lot of emphasis on aerospace development here in South Carolina. And we have, obviously with the military being here, we have a steady stream of wonderful like an employee base, with people getting out of the military already being trained.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
a great idea. Yeah.
And then of course we have a lot of large aerospace developers here, such as Boeing and Lockheed Martin, which obviously facilitates a supply chain, which is really attractive for us. So
yeah, we
and
are
plus
really positioned in a perfect spot. And you were going to say
it's a beautiful place to live.
it sure is, absolutely. We're glad you noticed that. Didn't take you too long to notice that.
Yeah.
Well, this is really exciting. And so, what from the consumer standpoint. Of course, it's a couple years away. And what would you say? Like, what's the reality here of this happening maybe in our area?
Yeah, I think the chances are very good that Beaufort would be a great place for us to do our launch flight and launch flight from here. So yeah, we see that. And we're, SkyDrive is doing their unveiling of their SD-05, our newest aircraft. We're doing the unveiling at the World Expo in 2025 in Osaka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then from there, we plan to kick off global sales. So yeah, hopefully sometime in late 2025, 2026, you'll be seeing the aircraft flying right here in the local community.
That is just amazing. I mean, I never am just surprised at how much we learn here when we come and how much opportunity is here in our area and resources. And we know that, of course, here in Beaufort at the corridor, it's been an instrumental piece. And we're going to talk with JOToole in a little bit. But how has he helped with this development for you?
Well, I think one of the best things that they've been able to do for us is just really kind of introduce us to the people that we need to meet. Obviously, being a Japanese company, we are lacking in resources here in the U.S. market, and they do a really good job of like making up for that and giving us the tools and the resources needed for us to be able to do the development that we are aiming to do. So,
well, there's a lot to this story to come for the future. So we look forward to continuing and following that, and we hope that you have a very enjoyable and profitable stay as far as development-wise while you're here. And thank you for joining us. You all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV.